Hello YouTube. This is part of an ongoing project to restore this lovely 2008 LL Bean Subaru Outback. This particular model has the 6-cylinder, and today we're going to be changing the transmission oil filter. I'm doing that as part of a larger project that the transmission failed, so I want to remove as much of the old oil fluid coolant mix as I can. And the filter is an easy job, so let's get started. Some things you're going to need: 10mm wrench, 10mm socket, a flathead screwdriver or something to pry with if it comes up, and something to remove a oil filter if it comes up. I have this style, I'll show it off later. Let's get started. So even though the filter is back in here, we don't actually access it from underneath like on the older ones. We actually access it by getting the battery out. To remove the battery, it's pretty easy. These two 10mm bolts come off the bracket. Once you have that hook out, this clamps in and we can just pry it out. I don't think we'll have to completely remove this. Just enough to get in there. With that off, we'll remove this. Can you tell when it stopped being under tension? We'll get that bracket out of there. We'll remove the two posts for the battery. Those are going to be, of course, 10mm. A lot of Subarus at this age will have aftermarket posts because the terminal likes to go bad, especially with age. I've had that happen on a couple. So yours might be a little different, but it's really still the same. Get the bracket out of the way. These loose. You might need to wiggle them a bit, but I'll go ahead and remove it. And then the battery comes out. Hey, looks better with the light on it, don't it? So, I can't get it by hand. There's a couple different options here. You can stab it with a screwdriver and twist. I've had mixed results with that. It's also very messy. Not that any filter change isn't, but this is what I was going to say, is I've had this tool for like 15 years and it has never let me down. You can see how it works. It's pretty simple. As you pull, or as you were to tighten or loosen it, the jaws just get tighter. So long as this fits, I've never had it not be able to remove a filter. So let's see if it fits. I'd say that's it. Yep, it's now hand free, and I'm hoping it's not going to dump a bunch of fluid, but just in case, I'm going to go ahead and put a catch pan at the bottom, and let's go for it. You can see this 5-speed automatic failed because the coolant mixed with the transmission fluid, and oil and water don't mix. So I'm glad I'm replacing this because it's obviously no good, and I'm glad I'm replacing all the components. So here is the new transmission filter. This is the factory one. I'll put a link in the description if you can't find this, but it goes on just like an oil filter. What I'm going to do is I'm going to dab my finger in some transmission fluid, get it on the lip there, and install it. Now would be a great time to change your transmission fluid if you haven't. But our only goal today is to change this filter out. You're just going to put it finger tight. So now we're going to go ahead and reinstall the battery. When you go to install the battery, if you're having trouble, that long J-hook, the rearward one sets there, and then the forward one, that hole right there, this hole right here is where the forward one goes. Oh, that's a great shot of that transmission filter. I think that's going to be the thumbnail. And then we cover it back up. The Walmart brand battery is really worth considering if you ask me, because not every town might not have a Advanced Auto or an Auto Parts or an Auto Zone. It might not have an O'Reilly's, it might not have a Pep Boys, but nearly every town, it's much more likely to run into a Walmart no matter where you are. And the price is right, and the specs are good. It's actually typically a pretty good rated battery, especially their Max line, which I think is equivalent to like the Gold with other brands. I guess technically this could be a how to change your battery video, but you know, I trust my audience. I believe in you guys. I think you can do this. What I'm doing here is I'm holding up that long J-hook with my left fingers just to get it tight, to make sure it's not falling down. I'm going to do the same over here, and I'm just going to run that nut down. I'm going to push this down. We'll go ahead and connect the positive terminal up first. And then the negative. Don't be surprised if you get a spark. Oh, let me get that off. When you connect this, don't be surprised if you get a spark. It's nothing really to worry about. It's just the current working. And there we go. We'll tighten down this 10 mil. Don't go crazy with this. Like I said, these terminals like to go bad with age, and I think that's part of it. Just make sure it's not going to fall off. Then we bring the positive terminal cable back up. Then you're done. Double check the fluid because you might have lost some. But that's the transmission filter on a 2008 Outback LL Bean. That should cover most models on the 2005 or 2009 Outbacks for changing this filter. It's not bad. It's not a bad idea to change it. I wouldn't change it every 5,000 miles or anything, but definitely time if you say put a new transmission in it or change in the transmission fluid. But hope this video helps somebody. Thanks for watching.